Okay, next up is the muscle tests. So we're going to move on to the Tibialis Anterior. So we're going to swap sides now because it will just be slightly easier to show you. So we're going to stand on this outer side. So Tibialis Anterior dorsiflexes and inverts. Okay, so you can see it coming across onto this medial side. So I therefore need to push downwards and outwards whilst your patient pulls their foot upwards and inwards. So you can take your foot towards you and inside. I'm going to resist against you. What I like to do is just match my force. Don't try and overpower me. Just match the resistance that I apply and I'll build that force up gradually. It's important you give that clear instruction. I'm not going to keep doing that throughout all of these tests, but try to give that clear instruction about how you want them to do it. Okay, so just start to resist for me. That's it, perfect. Keep it going, keep it going, keep it going, and relax. Okay. Next up is extensor hallucis longus, so extensor of the hallux or the big toe. So what I'd like you to do is try and pull your toe up towards you. I'm going to pull your toe down towards the ground and just going to hold it in that position. Okay, so just like to start to resist for me. That's it, keep it there, keep it there, keep it there, and relax. Next up we're going to do the rest of these toes here. So again, just coming over the top there, so kind of use your hand to grip them a little bit so you've got a little bit more of a purchase on them. Again, you're going to pull your toes up towards you. I'm going to push down and just start to resist for me. Just resist, 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 and relax. Okay, next up is the lateral compartment, so the Peroneus, Longus and Brevis. So we're down this side now. So what we're going to want the foot to do is just be in a bit more of a neutral position, and it's going to try and take itself outwards into eversion. You're going to try and pull the foot therefore inwards into inversion. So again, stabilising here, hand and forearm around the outside, and just watch out that you don't flick over in this region here. It can kind of go across your tendons. Okay, so try and make sure you're in a good position to be able to offer stability. I'll show you another handling position for this as well. Okay, so you can use your forearm if you like. This is one position. What I'd like you to do is just take your foot out towards the outside there. Okay, just start to resist and resist, resist, resist. Okay, and we can see the peroneals coming up here. Another method would be just to put your hand on the top here again, as we did before. The issue with this is you're only as strong as essentially your fingers. So again, just try and take your foot outwards for me. So you're only as strong as your fingers and hand will allow you to be to resist, but you have a little bit more control of their foot. So just see which one you prefer there, here or here. Okay, next up is Tibialis Posterior. So again, we're into the posterior compartment now. So Tibialis Posterior is a plantar flexor and an inverter. Okay, so we're going to swap onto the other side. Okay, so here we have the foot that's going to try and go downwards and inwards, and we're therefore going to pull up and outwards. Okay, so you can bring your other hand in two ways again. You can either try and hold here. I find this one particularly difficult to try and do, but you can try and pull outwards as well as then pushing down. What I tend to find is their foot just rubs past your forearm, so I don't find that particularly good for me. Again, you can either try and use your hand this way, so they're going to try and pull their foot down and in, but again, it's reliant on your hand grip strength. Mine is pretty good, so I'm fairly good at doing it this way. So I'll just show that one to you. So just take your foot down and inwards, and I'm going to try and pull up and out, so I can kind of use my grip strength there to try and help me, but that is very difficult. Or another way of doing it is holding onto the calcaneum here, and this hand comes underneath, so then you've got both bases covered. You all try and do that and that, so you've got two hands covering both areas, and you've got a nice stable support on the ankle there. Okay, so you're going to take your foot down and in, and I'm just going to try and resist it for you. Okay, just start to bring it down and in, keep going, keep going, keep going, and relax. And I definitely feel I can overpower, whereas that way I don't feel quite as strong. Okay. Okay, next up is Flexor Hallucis longus. So the flexor of the big toe here coming all the way up into the posterior compartment. So what I like to do is try and curl your toe down into the ground, and I'm going to try and pull your toe, up towards you. Okay, so just start to pull your big toe down towards the ground. Keep going, go on, keep going, and relax. Okay, just offering a little bit of support in here. Same thing with the rest of the toes. They're going to try and curl down into the floor, and we're just going to hold and resist you coming up. Okay, so I'm going to pull up, keep going, and relax. Okay, last two is gastrocnemius and soleus, so they need to be over on their front. Just move up slightly. So for gastrocnemius, your hand against your thigh and supporting onto their foot. So then you've got control of their legs, so they're not going to do that and come off either side. Yeah, where it can sort of flick off because of the amount of force that you're producing. So you've got some control, and also you can feel how much pressure they're pressing against your hand. But a little bit more gauge in there. With your other hand, you can either, if possible, feel, if they say that it does hurt, then you can feel for where that pain is. You may be able to identify the problem. Or if you find that they're particularly strong, then you may need to hold onto the bed just to brace yourself. Okay? They also may need to hold onto the bed to brace because of the amount of force they're going to apply to you. Okay, so if you just start to push your foot down towards me, so just you can see the amount of force we're producing, we can then palpate and keep going. If I need to, I can add some more. Keep going, and relax. Okay. Last one is soleus. Just roll yourself down just slightly. I'm only moving Neil down here just so you can see in the camera. You would normally keep them further up the bed. We just bend the knee up here. So we're taking out gastrocnemius by putting them in this position. We need to get ourselves into a good position where we can essentially lean our body weight down against this part of the foot whilst they try and push up into here. So you need to be at a vantage point where you can lean on it. So it's no good standing back here and thinking you're going to be strong, because you won't be. Okay, so get yourself right in on top there. So you're going to take your foot up towards, essentially towards the ceiling. Okay, and just start to resist, keep going, and relax.